Hey out there, slot car land. How's everybody doing this fine weekend? Hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're having a great November so far. About halfway through, or about 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving and everything. So I hope that everything's going well for you guys. Been seeing a lot of racing on Facebook. I hope you guys are doing well within your point series. If you're running a point series, or you're just doing well if you guys are just racing without any points or anything. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's points race. This coming weekend, we're going to be at Jim's house. Hopefully, he's got a timing system. He's trying to work the bugs out these 2 weeks between races, and hopefully we'll be at his house. So you'll see a brand new race. The track used to be called Radiator Springs Raceway because it's a cars themed racetrack, but he's changed it to Thunder Raceway or something. So. But hope you guys will enjoy that. That is a lock-in joiner track, so it's going to be very interesting. No corner smaller than a 9-inch corner, so it's going to be a really, really fast racetrack. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. Something else I want to talk about, if you guys haven't heard, or I just wanted to bring it up, just so you guys know and everything. I just got done checking the channel on within my analytics on YouTube. And if you guys have heard about this COPA lawsuit between the FTC and YouTube and how it's affecting the creators on YouTube, especially as it comes to anything dealing with toys or any of that kind of thing. If you guys don't know, us as creators are now going to have to either deem our channel kid friendly or do it on a video by video basis as to, is this video kid friendly? By doing that, it takes away a lot of stuff with your channel if you deem it kid friendly. It takes away your monetization. It takes away comments, which would really hurt me. It takes away likes. It takes away being able to share. It may also take away your live streaming ability. It takes notifications away for you guys. You won't be notified about a video that I upload or anything like that. So I had to figure out how it's affecting it. YouTube has already gone through, as of the 12th, and went through everybody's channel with analytics and all that stuff, and has already deemed videos within everybody's channels whether it's kid friendly or not. I went through the channel. Out of the over 200 videos that this channel has up, it only deemed 3 videos in the entire video playlist as suitable for kids, and they were all race videos, which more than likely they're looking at Shaden or Aiden within those videos, and that's what's deeming it for kids because there's kids in it. The last videos that I played that we did live on the thing were not dinged as kid friendly. So I think that's the way we're doing it now, is the way we're going to stick to it, because you see the cars more than seeing everybody else. It'll also help keep the channel out of that kid-friendly zone, so you guys can still get notifications. You can still comment on the videos. We can still, I can still do live stuff, and we can still communicate back and forth between the viewer and the creator and all that stuff. So I'm very happy about that. I was really worried about it. Been watching videos on YouTube about it, but it looks like Slot Car Crazy is safe for now as being an adult channel, so we don't have to deem it a kids channel, so I don't lose all of that stuff for you guys, so you guys will still get notified about video uploads and all that kind of stuff. So I was really worried about that, but it looks like we're good. Out of 200 videos, it only dinged 3. They were all race footage, and it was stuff that Shaden was in or Aiden was in, so I think we're going to be good. We'll just keep doing videos the way we're doing it, and we should be fine. I also want to thank everybody for the comments and everything about the videos. If you guys didn't notice the way we're taping the race videos, I have to hand the camera off from time to time to Elijah, depending on who's on the racetrack or not, and he's trying to get him to video it and show you guys the screen and everything like that. You're probably going to start seeing a lot of static stuff. I'm going to want to build some apparatuses to hold my phone. I got a couple of ideas. So we can stick them in an area for a little while, and you can just watch the race that way rather than me have to use the selfie stick. And then I can just pick up the holder and show the screen after each heat and then put it back, and we'll we'll move it around the racetrack and all that kind of stuff, like we do with the selfie stick, but it'll be a lot steadier because I won't have to hold it or anything. I have a couple ideas for holders and stuff, so I'll start tinkering with that a little bit. Try some of that out at Jim's house, and we'll see how it goes. But it's been a big hit the way we're filming the racing now. It helps me out. I don't have to edit them, and it helps out. You guys get to see closer up race action, and we're showing the computer screen so you guys can see who won that heat or whatever and all that stuff. So hope you guys enjoy it and all that kind of stuff. So I want to thank Ted Baker. We now have, get this out real quick. We now have all our parts. He sent us a rear axle and wheel combo. So we have all our parts now for a Super 2, for one Super 2 chassis anyways. So more than likely our next video we're probably going to start putting that baby together. I was going to start it today, but I have another idea. Somebody sent me a good idea and I think I want to talk about it today. And then the next time we have a main video, of course we'll be racing next weekend, so it'll be a race video next weekend. So in 2 weeks we're going to start our Super 2 project. We're going to start out by learning about the Super 2, how it came to fruition, what's the difference between it and a non-mag car or an AFX chassis, and all of that stuff, and then we'll start the build. So it's going to be a whole video series. So it'll have its own playlist and all that kind of stuff. So I think that'll be kind of a cool idea to kind of learn about the Super 2 before we actually build the Super 2, and then we'll build it, test it, run it. The first one we're building will be an all original Super 2 with foam tires. I've got original foam rear tires for it that are still in pretty good shape. And we'll go from there, and then maybe we'll do some experiments with it down the road with silicones and put it up against some other cars, up against the regular AFX or a Magnatraction or whatnot. So we'll all get that. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be starting in 2 weeks. We're going to start all that Super 2 stuff. So it's going to be really, really cool. So today, the idea somebody sent to me was talking about your motor brush tension, how to adjust your motor brush tension on a T-Jet, an AFX, and a Magnatraction car. So I thought I'd give you guys some pointers. There's no set way to do it. There's some things you shouldn't do and some things you should do, but there's no like one set way to do it because each chassis is different. Each car, each motor runs different with the motor magnets you have in it. So I'm just going to give you guys some general rules to go by to adjust your motor brushes on each one of these chassis. So let's bring the camera down here and we'll take a look at what we got. So I have a T-Jet chassis here that we can take a look at. Actually, it'll be this one we're looking at. And I've got a couple here that show you some do's and don'ts and whatnot. So we'll take a look at that. I have an AFX chassis here. We'll take a look at that and what you can do there. And then, of course, we have your a completely empty Magnatraction chassis. So first, let's talk about the T-Jet and the AFX car, because, whoops, sorry about that. And then it falls over. What the heck? There we go. Okay. I'll have to edit that out. So now, let's take a look at your T-Jet and your AFX, because they're so much alike. As you know, when it comes to motor brushes on these two cars, your AFX car has those domed, notched motor brushes in it. And your AFX one are just completely flat on both, or your T-Jet one, they're completely flat on both sides. So, to adjust your motor tension on both of these cars, you need to play with the tabs here that hold your motor brush, up against your armature on both of these. Now, you never, ever, ever want to adjust these with the armature in the car. Because what might happen is this. If you guys can see this, you can see how badly bent up this rear tab is. And that happens via trying to adjust your motor brushes with the armature in the car. If you press on this too much, it'll end up bending or bowing that metal or copper bar right there. And once you do that, these chassis never really run right again. There is a way to fix it. There's some people that have made tools to fix it, and there is some tutorials out there about it. But it's still kind of a pain in the butt to fix these tabs once they get bent. And then again, they're never totally 100% straight again after you bend it. So you need to be really, really careful about it and go very, very slow. Basically, another way you can is where the bend is right here on the bar, where you've got that little V. You can bend, that's where basically you want to bend it. You want to take a screwdriver and just push here on this side, and you want to bend it towards your armature. You want to go a little bit at a time, not big adjustments, but very, very little adjustments. If you have a dyno, it'll come in really handy. What I suggest is put it on the dyno, get a reading right off the bat about where you're at on the dyno, and do one side at a time. Don't do both, because it only may be one side that is your issue. Take a look at them before you, once you get them apart, kind of take a look at them. You may notice one bent more than the other. That might be part of your issue why the car isn't running right. So you might want to make the other side look like bend the other side to as close as you can to the other side so they look alike, and put the car back together and put it back on the dyno and see if that does it. If you're still having issues, just keep playing with it. Keep adjusting them. Keep working them on. Make sure you do it at tiny adjustments, because you don't want to go too far, because getting it back is really hard. It is really hard to get these bent back the other way on both your T-Jet and your AFX car. So small increments, you know, a little bit at a time here and there to make sure that you're getting it to where it's working right. So if you don't have a dyno, basically what I suggest is do just little adjustments, put it on your track, run it, see if it's faster, see if it's improved it any, come back, take it back apart, adjust it again, put it back together, put it back on the racetrack, try it again. So just keep in mind, be patient, take your time, little adjustments at a time, and do it without the armature in the car, so it doesn't bend that bar or make your situation even worse than what it already is. So that's basically what you need to do with your T-Jet and your AFX cars. Little adjustments at a time. Make sure you're adjusting the motor brushes without the armature in the car. Little adjustments at a time. Before you even start, checking your chassis to see if maybe one of them's been out, one of them's higher than the other. And just keep going from there and just start from there. So that's what you need to do with those two. It's hard to show because, once again, like I said, each chassis varies. Each chassis runs different. Each armature runs different with the motor magnets that are in it, etc. Something else you might want to do, if it's a car you got off of eBay and you're trying to run it, and the motor brushes look fine, and the arms and the tension and everything look fine, but it still doesn't run right, just change the motor brushes. That sometimes you don't know how long the motor brushes have been in that car. You don't know how old they are, any of that. So change your motor brushes right off the bat. See if that changes the car at all, and then go from there. Next up, we've got your Magnatraction car. Now, as you know here, your Magnatraction car, your motor brushes are held up to the bottom of the armature with a spring. So you've got the whole spring tension problem going here. So basically, once again, start by looking at your motor brushes. If it's a car you got off of eBay and you don't know how long they've been in there, change them out. Try that first. See how that does. If you're still having problems, take the motor brushes out. Look at your springs. You may have one spring compressed more than the other. Take them out, set them on your workbench or on your top of your slot car box or whatever you got, and take a look at them and see if one is lower than the other one. If they are, swap them out. Put brand new springs in it. If that doesn't work, then try and match your springs with other springs you have. So you've got the same amount of spring tension on both motor brushes. That's what you need. You got to have both. If you got one motor brush lower than the other one, you're going to have issues with the car, and it's not going to run right. So make sure you're checking that, and make sure you're checking your springs. Make sure one's not lower than the other one. Also check your springs to make sure one of them's not bent in any way other than a straight up and down. Sometimes if you put a spring in and you put your your motor brush in, and while you're trying to put the armature in it, it'll push the motor brush a little bit, and it'll slide it, and it might bend that delicate spring that's under there, just the top of it. It might bend it over a little bit, and that can be part of your issue too. So just be careful with that when you're putting the car back together, or when you take it apart and you notice that on your spring. Definitely change that spring right off the bat. Something else too that I do when I change springs on this car, I don't change one, I always change both, just simply because you never know what's going to happen or anything, and you might have two brushes that aren't brush springs that aren't the same. So if you're going to change one, change both. Just and try and get them out of the same pack. Don't get them from multiple packs if at all possible. So that's basically on your Magnatraction car. That's how you adjust your spring tension on your Magnatraction car. So look at your springs. Make sure you've got two springs that are both the same height. Make sure you're running with good motor brushes. And make sure, and once again, this car is not as, this is all springs, so you don't have to worry about doing it with the armature in it. You got to take the car apart to look at the springs anyway. So if they look bad or they look old, change them out. If one's compressed than the other one, change them out. If you got one that looks bent than the other one, change them out. And just keep experimenting with your cars. Just keep tinkering, keep throwing parts at it. They're not expensive. Motor brush springs aren't that expensive, and motor brushes aren't that expensive, so it's pretty easy to run through a lot. So that's basically how you adjust your spring tension on your Magnatraction and your G Plus and or not your G Plus, but your Magnatraction, your non-mag or AFX, and your tjet. So it's just experimenting, tinkering, seeing how it runs, going back, tinkering a little more, see how it runs. My favorite place to adjust these, like I said, is right there at the bend where you've got the little V-shape invert. I always bend that back. I don't try and push down on the arm and bend the arm, because once again, once you screw that arm up, there's no way to get that thing back to perfect again. So always adjust it down here, right where the bar touches the motor brush and the motor brush is touching your armature. That's the best place to adjust it. And once again, little increments at a time. Just bend it back just a tad, put it back together, see how it runs. So that's adjusting your motor brush springs. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helps you guys out in any way. And once again, it's all about your tinkering, and it's always about the little adjustments. You never want to go too far. You go too far, it's hard to get the car back to where it was. So that's how you adjust your motor brush springs. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys catch the race action next weekend. Next weekend is Frey G Plus magnet cars, and then we'll see what Jim's going to come up with for the driver's challenge. He has been talking about vibrators, which will be really interesting. Something we've never ran or showed on the channel, so that could be very interesting. So don't forget to check that out. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, we're going to start talking about the Super 2. We had a lot of requests for this. We finally got all the parts. So we're going to start our Super 2 project. And first off, we're going to start by learning about the Super 2 to begin with. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys have enjoyed everything on the channel, everything. Don't be on the lookout. Probably about midweek, I want to shoot a mid-season update for you guys for the point series. We're halfway through, halfway to go. 5 races to go. We've got 2 more before the Christmas break, and then 3 after Christmas, after the first of the year. So I want to give you guys a little update where we all stand, where the points stand, where classes, and all that garbage. So be on the lookout for that video about Wednesday. And just have a great week. Keep racing slot cars. Keep the wheels on the downside. The pin in the slot. Don't forget to check out slotcarcrazy.com. You can check out all the points there from the point series. You can check out upcoming events. Jim has uploaded about 4 new catalogs in the last month and a half, so go check those out. Very cool to check out all the old brochures from Tyco and AFX, so go check that out. And all the magazines and everything. Don't forget to become a member of slotcarcrazy.com. A lot of great things you can do. You can put all your cars in there. It's a great place to keep a list of your cars. It's a great place to find other cars because the collectors that are listed there can look at your collection. You can put your wants and what you're looking for, and maybe they can help you out find it. Maybe they have one, or you have another of something you're willing to get rid of for that. So it's a great place to do that as well and all that stuff. And don't forget to support everything that I do and Jim does here on Slot Car Crazy, slotcarcrazy.com, by going to shop.spreadshirt.com/slotcar-crazy and get your Slot Car Crazy swag. hats, shirts, sweatshirts for children, women, and men. And I promise there are new designs coming. I promise. I've got ideas. I just got to get things ironed out and get them worked on and get them uploaded. So there is new shirts coming. So go there and get your swag and just have a great week. I'm out, and I'll catch you guys with the race action next Sunday. We're back to racing. I'll catch you guys then. I'm out. Bye.